All men are pigs. Women are equal to men.
The prosecution rests, Your Honor. It's Sunday. I'm Akorn. Welcome back to the idiocracy that is modern-day society. If you'd like to help save this channel, please share the videos. Let's jump into today's show. Ice spotted in Fort Lauderdale sparks immediate protests. They probably would, to be honest. This guy literally dressed like his dead mom to get her $61,000 pension per year. Not even trying to be funny, but which one is the mom? The one on the left is the mom, but either way, this is pretty bad. Which holiday is more real? Kwanzaa? Juneteenth? Toyotathon? Yes, I have to agree. Breaking news, Punxsutawney Phil is out on work release as part of his punishment for calling for 6 more weeks of winter. Now he's cleaning up these giant oversized mounds of dirty ice he helped create everywhere. Officials say it's part of his rehabilitation. He made the mess, now he's digging himself out of it. You know what? I have a better idea. Why don't they put all the people that go and drag him out of his den while he's trying to hibernate, just so they can claim if he saw a shadow or not? They should put all them into work release for waking him up while he's trying to sleep. It's so cold, I saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets. Now that is pretty rare. Democrats constantly claim that their voters are far more educated than Republican voters. Democrats also claim that their voters are too stupid to get a voter ID. Well, don't worry, guys. They're going to solve it really soon. Like I said back on a past show, it's now being talked about using the digital ID as the answer. I want my vehicle to be 0% computer. Well, my pickup truck is, if I can just keep the thing running. Chinese female streamer loses 140,000 followers after beauty filter glitch reveals her face. And I thought women here in the US were bad enough for doing things like this. Couple fined more than $4,000 because the thief who stole their car didn't wear a seatbelt. We may have a new dictionary definition for the term, adding insult to injury. According to a report by 9Now Australia Today, a couple were victims of a home invasion and had their Lexus SUV stolen in the process, followed by the man and woman receiving a $6,258 Australian dollar fine, which is roughly $4,400 USD, because the alleged thief wasn't wearing a seatbelt during the getaway. Well, they was just worried about his safety. They didn't want him to get unalive during a high-speed chase or something. Of course, that would take the police actually going after the criminals instead of the victims. If you're wondering what roughly $14 billion out of a projected $128 billion total looks like after 20 years of planning and construction on California high-speed rail, here's Fresno. Government at work. They/them misunderstood the assignment. Florida woman tells police wind blew substance into her handbag. A Florida woman arrested on suspicion of substance possession said the substance must have been blown into her handbag by the wind, police say. Posey, 26, was one of the 2 passengers in a car that was stopped by Fort Pierce police on March 21st, local TV news reports. I don't know anything about any substance, Miss Posey told officers, according to an arrest report. It's a windy day. It must have flown through the window and into my purse. People will literally say anything but the truth. Amazing new study suggests you can just think thoughts without posting them online.
Don't worry, America. The Democrats will save you.
The Rhode Island trans shooter tweeted yesterday warning that you shouldn't point out that trans women are really men or they will go berserk. We'd probably be better off if Y2K had actually ruined all the computers back in 2000. We almost certainly would have been, so long as they couldn't have built them back. The blue-crested loon has been named the new state bird of Minnesota. Should also be the state bird of California and probably a number of others. I know most of you watch the channel on your TV. Here's a PSA. Your smart TV is taking 7,200 secret screenshots every hour, and here is how to stop it. I'm not going to read this part of the article, and you guys can look this up online, but down here in the second paragraph says the invisible tracking system called automatic content recognition works like a relentless Shazam for everything on your screen. It fingerprints content from any source, streaming apps, cable boxes, game consoles, even that embarrassing late-night infomercial habit. Like I said a long time ago, people that think that they still have any kind of privacy are kidding themselves. 2026 is gonna be my year. Me in February of 2026. Yes, I certainly have been. I was sick for over 2 weeks now, and I'm still trying to finish getting over this stuff. Last time I was sick was with bronchitis about 8 or 9 years ago, and I kicked it in about a week. This one's been ridiculous. So you're saying that tobacco products on race cars will make me want to smoke, but gay and drag queen storybooks won't influence my life choices? A woman duct taped to an American airline seat after attacking the flight crew and trying to open the door mid-flight. I think this is the second or third story I've seen in just the last month or two of people trying to open the airplane door while it's in the air. What the heck's wrong with these people? Amazon's Ring cancels Flock partnership amid Super Bowl ad backlash. I'm sure most of you guys have already heard about this, and I'd say most everybody has heard about these Flock cameras that the police and even local governments and everybody else is using. Apparently, Amazon Ring camera was going to be integrated into the Flock camera system or something to that effect, and supposedly now that's all canceled and they've separated ways after they put it on a huge Super Bowl commercial. They knew exactly what people's reaction to that would be, so why put it on a Super Bowl ad? Are they just flaunting it in people's faces or what? I don't know exactly.
I'm looking for a caregiver, someone who's willing to let me move in with them for free and take care of me. I usually help cope with all my anxiety, stress, the need for comfort, and past trauma. Again, I'm looking for a caregiver who's willing to let me move with them, but again, I don't want to have to pay taxes or get a job, so that is my goal.
Italian artist sold an invisible sculpture for $18,000. Only in today's society. Instead of just exposing crimes all day, every day, can we get to the part where the criminals are arrested and justice is served? No, not really. Even the ones who are arrested are only done so because they're either a sacrificial puppet, or it's just something to fill the news circles with, and then later on they end up getting out of it, or even if they're sent to prison, how do we know that any of them's actually there? They'd take them out or replace them with doubles, and none of us would ever know. I wish I was as tired at bedtime as I am at 2 p.m. on any given day. There are some days, yeah. The irony of Tim Walz encouraging people to protest ICE while standing behind his fortified walled mansion is a perfect picture of the left. Socialists say I should stop confusing socialism with communism. I say that socialists should stop confusing my money with their money. Average female at the No Kings protest. Imagine sitting in here eating food while it's raining outside, then someone farts and you have nowhere to run. That's pretty bad. It would be easier to live within our means if we weren't taxed to death. Very, very true. But you still would have the biggest tax, which is inflation. U.S. man eats another student's AI artwork in protest, detained by police. An undergraduate at the University of Alaska was detained after tearing and eating AI-generated artwork in protest and charged with criminal mischief. Well, at least it wasn't invisible. Ma'am Danny fails first major test as filth piles up on city streets. Images and video have surfaced online showing piles of trash and snow accumulating along streets and sidewalks across New York City. Since the surfacing of these videos and images, Mayor Mondami has been under harsh scrutiny from critics and citizens of New York City. Actor and comedian Michael Rappert called the city a dirty snow-covered dump, with garbage mountains rivaling the snowdrifts. Roboticists recreate Thing from the Addams Family. It is a little bit interesting, but number one, the Thing only had 5 fingers, not 6. And number 2, it could move a whole lot faster than this thing can. This thing looks more like it's dancing rather than walking. That actually does sum it up. Just keeps getting worse. University medtech hubs are uploading skills directly into human brains in 20 minutes. A biological hijacking is happening in accelerated learning centers. Researchers successfully implanted procedural memories like piano playing, language vocabulary, and martial arts movements using transcranial magnetic stimulation combined with virtual reality. Test subjects with zero piano experience played intermediate pieces after just one 20-minute session. Skill retention lasted 6 months without practice, with 91% accuracy maintained. If they can upload things to your brain, just think of what all they can download, or even worse, what they can replace. And we also know that anything that they can do through wired technology originally, they always end up making it wireless later. How 2 storm chasers found forever in the path of a tornado. Okay, we get it. They're storm chasers, right? I don't think proposing in the middle of a tornado is a very smart idea, though. Especially when it's that close. Because this is a real photo, guys. This is actually from the news article. In 1916, a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution suggested that before the nation could declare war, it would require a nationwide public vote and that every citizen who voted in favor would be required to serve in the U.S. Army. I think this is a very good idea. They should also include all the politicians as well, because ultimately, it's always the politicians that get us into these wars, one way or another. Palestinian activists call dogs un-Islamic and should be banned as indoor pets in New York City. What do you guys think? Do we need to get a lot more dogs? South Korea printed a living human eye that connects directly to the brain. Bioengineers at KIST in South Korea have achieved a historic medical milestone by successfully 3D printing a fully functional human eye and integrating it with a patient's nervous system. The complex organ, which includes a retina, lens, cornea, and optic nerve, was implanted into a 31-year-old individual who has been blind for 7 years following an industrial accident. This marks the first time a multi-tissue synthetic organ has been successfully connected to the human brain, allowing the patient to regain sight. I know the technology is advancing, but this can't be true. We would have heard about other things before this because the eye is extremely complex. On the other hand, what technology have they not shown yet? Scotch tape, black tape, duct tape, red tape. Polymorous refugee Cleons. New Star Trek writer makes 3-parent household a priority. There are a lot of folks alive in the world right now, and there always have been, who have 3 parents. The stupidity gets worse by the hour. Liberals hate all kinds of kings. Working, thinking, fact-checking, making sense. You, paying $1,600 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, no space, no garden, rarely at home because you're always working. A literal peasant in 1890. A peasant's house, Black Forest, Germany, 1890. Yeah, and they didn't pay 60 to 70% of everything they have in taxes every year either. People don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed.
Honey, bring your boyfriend in here. Don Lemon was released without bail.
I thought this one here was a pretty good advertisement for a septic tank company. And it's also a very factual statement. Tax the rich. Tax everyone. Well, it's never the billionaires that pays any taxes. It's always been the middle class and even the poor. These days, there's not a whole lot of a middle class left in the US. You want term limits. I want prison sentences. We are not the same. The people who run this world don't care which ruler you choose. They care only that you keep choosing to be ruled. If you liked this video, click on one of the videos that YouTube will show here for more, or check out the links in the video description. I thank you all for watching. You guys take care and stay safe this week, because the Idiocracy is only getting worse by the day. This is Akorn, over and out.